Good morning, afternoon, and evening, ladies and gentlemen. And we haven't done this in a while. We'll do this in a One Hockey Podcast episode.
It's been like 3 months.
Oh yeah, for
something
sure,
like that.
for sure.
It's
So
been a long time.
This is episode 28.
28.
So how are we feeling
about this?
Yes. So for today we're gonna talk about the Evander Kane signing in Edmonton. And this was a signing that we'd heard rumors about. Like, we heard rumors about him going to Edmonton. Vancouver was in the mix.
Yeah, although Edmonton, like, as of, like, at least the past week, was the main one.
And you did the check-in. So how much does he make?
How much is he making? He's making, I think, $2 million, right?
About $2 million.
$2 million
with
average.
A no-movement clause.
Now, that's the part that got me.
So, let's back it up first off. So, first off, he gets cleared of all these charges.
Yes.
That's very key. And I think that's an interesting thing because honestly, like, I broke it down.
And this was clear of the charges of because there were multiple things that people are accusing him of. Clear of the charges of him submitting fake medical records to play.
Yeah. So they did an interview here, and I don't know what they did an interview, and I don't know what to make of this interview. Like,
I saw it too.
It felt like two people that were just kind of like very much not trying to very passive aggressively tell each other to please leave me alone. Like, it was two people that just did not get along, and it didn't seem like a very I don't think it's that they didn't get along. They just weren't on the same topic.
Well, it was one of those things where they're going in, like, I mean, one of them's got to try to get info out of the other one.
It does sound
and the other one was kind of like a little hesitant to give it up, sort of thing. Yeah,
it was a bit invasive. I'll say that.
Yeah, but with something like that, you kind of...
I know, but I feel like, too, that like, that gets handled. Like, if it's that private, it should be handled in such.
That's true.
Like, it's not like the guy was going around murdering puppies. Like, this isn't like an actual, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's not like your private life is becoming an issue. Like, his private life is an issue, but, like, the things that we know about it are pretty public already. Like, this is one of the few times we don't actually really need to know.
Yeah. I will put it this way. I don't think this interview necessarily looks... I don't think it looks bad for Kane.
Doesn't look bad. I see a lot of people going to support him on this.
Like, I was about to say, I see a lot of people who are actually saying, like, you know, this is actually a pretty good interview with him. You know, it's great.
Or he handled it, yeah.
Like, the way that he handled it, he, like, you know...
Yeah.
The one thing I will say that was pretty good was the stuff that he needed to own up for, he seemed to own up to it pretty good.
So here's the thing I want to talk about mostly is his impact on the Edmonton Oilers. So I see a lot of positive actual, like, probability. So here's the thing. Let's get away from the locker room presence for a minute here because we've seen
he's a good player.
We've seen a very relatable situation in this. And no disrespect to Tony DeAngelo, but he carried a lot of baggage this offseason. He was notably... pretty much bought out by the New York Rangers and such. And despite having an amazing season with the Rangers the year before, his personal issues with the team and allegedly getting punched out in the face by Chris Kreider, which is a pretty boss-ass move because, like, afterwards, the interview, Chris was like this, hiding his knuckles, and everyone was like, oh, he's hiding the bruised knucks, like, which is, like, you know, but, like, all of that led to a very impressive season so far with the Carolina Hurricanes. And there have been no real talks about locker room problems continuing. And even if they do, that hasn't been the biggest problem. Like, it has caused him to still be consistently a much player. And I see Kane very much as a product in that same type of conversation. Yeah. He's got baggage, but his skill on the ice was never in question. He led the San Jose Sharks in points.
Yeah, he did. And it's funny because, I mean, obviously there were the questions regarding his defensive play when there was the whole fiasco of if he did he bet on his own games or not. But if you looked at his defensive analytics, he actually was pretty darn good. So, I mean, I don't think there's really much. I think he was pretty good defensively. Obviously, he was putting up the points that he needed to be putting. So, as an actual player, he definitely brought something to the table that I think he will bring in Edmonton.
Yeah, the only weakness is really just his attitude, and that leads as well to his penalty minutes.
Attitude, habits, stuff like that.
Yeah, penalty minutes was a problem for Evander Kane, and I can understand that being an issue here. I think he works, like, he's easily, I think, is still a number, like, he can be a first-line winger on the Edmonton Oilers. On a team that does not have a lot of scoring depth, and despite going through a massive massive losing streak that they had. They've rebounded. They've won about 3 now, I believe, in a row, is what I've heard. And they've rebounded, and that's the main point. And I think Kane can only really help this team. I don't see how his involvement can really damage this team. Now that being said,
in terms of on ice skill,
yeah. And that being said, people will kind of rag on this, and I understand that conversation. It's just one of those things where it's like at the end of the day, if they play like they should play, it's not going to be an issue. Yeah.
Now the one part I want to get into that it's kind of a Ken Holland move is why did you give him no movement clause?
Here's the thing. I think they gave him a new... How many years is it?
It's just 1. I know.
So here's the thing. Are the Oilers, like the Oilers aren't tanking. Like, the Oilers are on paper supposed to make a playoff spot. So I don't think that... And also, too...
Maybe.
Here's the thing. Here's my logic, Ken.
I just think if you're the Oilers, you may want to at least keep that door open.
I don't think... No. Here's my explanation, okay?
Yep.
If he has a personal problem, they can buy him out.
Okay.
And then that's fine. If their team becomes non-competitive and they begin to fall, Kane can be traded at the deadline because I think Kane would be open to that because he'd rather play in the playoffs than like that. Than play for a team, then not get the chance to play in the playoffs, not get the chance to prove himself so that he belongs
the
to
no
somewhere
movement
else.
clause makes it more difficult to do that.
It does, but it's a lot. But no movement clauses are very... They're only subsequent if the player has the player and the team are at a disconnect. If they're on the same page and both want to move, then you can waive that very simply.
Yep.
I don't see that too much of as an issue. I just see it as a formality for Evander Kane ensuring his job security with the Edmonton Oilers, and not necessarily...
I think Evander Kane is very smart for wanting that.
Yes, and that's very understandable because you don't want to get traded at the deadline.
I mean, the rumors of
a seller.
Yeah, especially with the rumors of the financial situation he's
in.
Having a no movement clause is a very good thing for him.
Yeah, so honestly, that's pretty much it. I think honestly,
we really just kind of have to wait and see how it goes because it can kind of go in the way of the Tony DeAngelo situation, like you're saying, where I mean. This entire season, have we heard anything of the locker room problem with DeAngelo?
Actually, I love this. There was a conversation where they asked Tony DeAngelo his thoughts on this controversial topic, and he's like, "I think the best thing for me is to not say anything." And everyone was like, "Yeah, good call, Tony. Good call, Tony." So yeah, once again, thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe on your way out, please. We would really appreciate that. Comment down below. What do you think of Evander Kane? What do you think will be his impact with the Edmonton Oilers? Will it be positive? Will it be negative? Let us know. Thanks for watching. We will see you next time.